Rose is a psychiatrist. One day she is called in for an emergency case. The patient had witnessed her professor kill himself with a hammer. Rose enters the room and sees Laura standing in a corner, completely traumatized. She calms her down and makes her sit. As Rose interviews her, Laura reveals that something has been following her. It smiles at her, but Rose believes it is only in her mind. Then suddenly, Laura falls backward from the chair and crawls toward the wall, yelling. She screams as her body twists unnaturally. Rose quickly calls for the staff, but when she turns back, she sees Laura standing there smiling with a broken shard in her hand. Laura cuts her own cheek, then slowly drags the shard across her throat, slicing it open and dying in front of Rose. Even after death, she keeps smiling. Rose is left completely traumatized. The same day, the police investigate her, trying to piece together the event. Later that night, Rose comes back home and notices blood on her clothes. She takes them off, takes a shower, and pours herself a drink. Just as she turns, she sees Laura standing in the dark, smiling. Then suddenly her fiancé arrives, and the glass slips from her hand. The next day, police officer Joel comes back to check on her. Joel is Rose's ex. He wants to make sure she is okay. In her office, Rose reads Laura's report and discovers that the professor who killed himself in front of Laura had also been smiling. Later, Rose sees Laura standing outside her office. Due to the recent incident, the head doctor asks her to take a week off. On her way back home, she buys a gift for her nephew and later wraps it in her house. That night, she listens to the recording of her session with Laura when suddenly a woman screams in her ear. She falls and grabs a knife from the counter. Hearing her screams, her boyfriend rushes in. The next day, Rose goes to see her therapist. The therapist does not find any signs of mental instability and asks her to come back next week. Later, Rose goes to her nephew's birthday party. When her nephew opens the gift from Rose, he pulls out a dead cat. Everyone assumes Rose did it. At that moment, Rose sees a woman smiling at her, and she starts yelling at her. Then suddenly the woman appears right in front of her. Rose stumbles backward and falls onto a table, her arms getting pierced by broken glass shards. Outside the house later, Rose tries to explain her experiences to her fiancé, but he refuses to believe her. That night, she researches Laura's professor, and the next morning, she visits his house pretending to be a reporter. The professor's wife tells her everything and shows her his room. The room was full of smiling sketches, and then the wife reveals that it all started after her husband witnessed a woman kill herself in front of him. Rose then tells her that she is seeing the same things her husband saw. Understanding that Rose lied about being a reporter, she throws her out of the house. Rose then goes to Joel. She asks him to investigate the professor's suicide and find out about the woman who killed herself before him. They eventually discover that the woman had also witnessed a suicide before her death. Rose watches a video of the incident and notices that the man who killed himself in front of the woman had been smiling too. She takes this evidence to her sister and tries to show her, but her sister refuses to believe her. That evening, Joel calls and tells her that the suicide chain stretches back through 20 cases and 19 suicides. One man in the chain had witnessed his partner's suicide and later murdered a complete stranger. He is alive and currently in prison. Rose asks Joel to arrange a meeting with him. During the meeting, Rose introduces herself as a doctor and tells the prisoner that her patient experienced the same thing he did. The man explains that he discovered similar cases around the world. He tells her about a man in Brazil who killed his neighbor in front of a witness to pass the curse onto someone else. He says the only way to escape is to kill someone in front of another person and pass the curse forward. Rose breaks down and screams that she cannot kill anyone. The prisoner suddenly becomes terrified and starts yelling and banging on the glass after realizing that Rose now has the curse on her. Rose walks out shaken. Back at home, her therapist arrives. While they are talking, Rose receives a phone call. When she answers it, she hears her therapist's voice on the other end. Suddenly, the woman in front of her starts smiling unnaturally. Rose falls backward as the woman walks toward her and grabs her mouth. Rose gets into her car and drives to her old house. She decides that if nobody witnesses her death, the curse will end with her. She locks the house and walks inside holding a lantern. She enters her dead mother's room and sees her sitting there. Her mother speaks to her, but Rose realizes it is not really her. The woman suddenly smiles. As Rose backs away, the figure begins transforming into a massive monster. Rose runs into the hallway, but the creature grabs her and throws her across the room. Then it begins choking her. Rose breaks its wrist and throws the lantern at it. Flames spread across the monster's body as the house catches fire. The monster screams while burning. Rose escapes the house and reaches Joel's place. Suddenly, darkness spreads around her, and Joel begins smiling. She runs through the door, and she is somehow back outside her old house again, with Joel now there too. She rushes inside and locks the door. The monster appears again. Rose screams as the creature tears off its own face. Then it grabs her mouth, forces it open, and crawls inside her body. At that moment, Joel breaks down the door and enters the house. There, he sees Rose standing in front of him, smiling. Then she sets herself on fire.